Tonight, serious questions are being raised about the conditions on the USS Abraham Lincoln, where approximately 5,000 U.S. Navy and Marine personnel have been on an extended deployment for over 250 days without a port of call. According to an official letter sent to the Department of War by Senator Richard Blumenthal, the crew has spent more than 250 days at sea without a port call, and that is simply unheard of. Families of these service members are reporting severe exhaustion, deteriorating living conditions throughout the ship. The showers are moldy, and the mental health of the crew seems to be at an all-time low. Some family members have reached out to the Navy because they're concerned about their loved ones doing self-harm after talking to them. The Navy says it does have mental health facilities on board every ship, and it's doing its best to take care of each of these people. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth says that the conditions and the rumors aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln are slightly exaggerated. So tonight, we're going to examine what has been confirmed and what is still rumor. How are military officials responding to these families and the concerns of everybody that's looking into this? So here are the facts that we know right now. The USS Abraham Lincoln departed from San Diego on November 21st, 2025. The carrier initially deployed to the Pacific, where it made a scheduled port visit in Guam during December. It was then redirected to the Middle East because the conflict with Iran was about to intensify. Their deployment was originally supposed to conclude around May. That date came and went, and all the members were told they've been extended with no known date of going home. Senator Blumenthal's letter says that the ship has now been deployed for more than 250 consecutive days without these members seeing shore. I know a lot of people that don't know much about the military think port calls are just like a vacation for the military members. It's like a nice little time for them to go ashore and have some fun and do some shopping. But that's not what mission essentially is. It is time for these people to get off the ship and clear their brains from living in those conditions for that extended period of time. It's also time for the ship to be resupplied and to be looked at for any potential problems. There are a lot of reasons port of calls need to happen, not just for the mental health of the service members. Stars and Stripes reports that normally you are only out to sea for 40 to 45 days at a time. The Lincoln's crew has now gone several times past that without a break. And the Navy is freaking out because now this is becoming known because family members are starting to bring it up in the public. And it's starting to get reported on the news and by people like me who are independent news people. There was recently a meeting in San Diego where over 200 family members attended to try to find out what is going on with their loved ones and find out when their loved ones might be coming home. Remember, these people on these ships are fathers, mothers, daughters, sons, brothers, sisters. They have a lot of people that care about them. It just makes me sad. I want these people to come home, and I want them to come home safely and not be mentally damaged just for being deployed for a war that never even needed to be fought in the first place. Families raised concerns like working extra long hours without sleep, horrible living conditions, filth, and food that isn't really edible because they've ran out of supplies and they're just making do with what they have at this point. There have been reports of mold in the showers, toilets that are broken and unusable, laundry facilities that are not working right now, and all basic hygiene products are pretty much gone on the ship at this point. So I want you to imagine what it must be like living on that ship, knowing you don't have clean clothes, you don't have good food, you stink because you can't even take a shower or use deodorant. What must that be like? Can you even imagine how bad that must be right now for these people? But I gotta say, my biggest concern is that family members were told 6 people have tried to jump off the ship in the past month. That means mental health is so bad that 6 people have just said, F it, I'm jumping off this ship in the middle of the ocean. Where do you have to be mentally to think that's the good idea? While the Navy did tell family members about this, they wouldn't issue any names at the time. Now, we need to understand that the strain of mental health isn't just about the personnel, even though I care about the personnel. It's also about the readiness of our nation to defend us against any potential aggressors. Government accountability measures have said that the average Navy person on this ship is getting about 5 hours of sleep a night. That is not enough. 5 hours is not enough to get to deep sleep and actually heal your brain and your body. In fact, the Department of War requires 7 hours of sleep minimum for each person on the ship every night. And we all know what happens when people start working without getting enough sleep. Accidents happen, mistakes are made, somebody might even lose their life. And it's not like these guys are just sitting in the middle of the Middle East just watching what's going on. They have daily operational tasks, according to Pete Hegseth. Of course, he comes out and praises the soldiers for doing everything they can, and I do as well. But that doesn't mean he's doing his job. He's not taking care of these people. The president is not doing his job. He's not taking care of these people. This is what we must demand. This is what the families are demanding, and everybody needs to be taken care of. In fact, it's getting so bad that Pete Hegseth said today that the USS George Washington is now heading to the Middle East to relieve the USS Abraham Lincoln. So hopefully in just a few weeks, these folks will be heading home where they can get the rest they need and time with their family to heal. Thank you for watching this update. If you got any good information from this video, please consider liking and subscribing. This channel is now becoming a news channel.